All right, boys and girls, let's try this one more time. Round two. So this is Jeremy Bramble from Eastville College in Dallas, Texas, in the T10 program. I'm going to show you how I create my days in Blackboard for my students since we're in quarantine and doing our online learning. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to go to my courses. I'm going to go down and pick the course that I want to work on, which is there. So I opened up my Auto Trans 2 course that I'm working on. We're going to create a day. Let's do April 9th. And that's going to be about hybrid stuff. 9th. And typing and talking at the same time is a unique challenge in case you ever want to try it. So I'm going to make this day available to my users and click submit. So now they have April 9th on their list of things to do. So if I open up April 9th, it's a blank day. So let's add some content to it. So what I've been doing is I'm creating my own YouTube videos and borrowing YouTube videos from some of the other stuff I found on the internet. And I'm basically using that for a lot of my lecture stuff. So I'm going to create an item. I've already got my YouTube video link saved. So I'm going to title it as a YouTube video. I'm going to post my YouTube link in there and just click submit. So now the first thing the student sees in this day is the student can go in and click on his YouTube video and watch whatever lecture and stuff I've got going on. My second component is going to be a quiz based off of the YouTube video. So I'm going to go into assessments and I'm going to create a test and create a new test. And I'm going to call it YouTube quiz. Now then, every school has a little different version of YouTube. Every school buys different options in YouTube. So yours, not in YouTube, I'm sorry, back that up, in Blackboard. So every school's Blackboard's a little bit different. Some of your links may be different. You may have options that I don't have, but I'm just kind of showing you the ones that I use, and most people should have something similar to this. So I'm going to create my YouTube quiz. I'm going to click submit. Now I want to add some questions. So I'm going to create an essay questions. I like to fill in response for this stuff. We're going to make it question number 1. And then for text, we're talking about hybrid transaxles here. Explain the duties of MG1 and MG2. That ought to be interesting enough. That'd be good. You can put as many questions as you want. Basically, I'm creating questions to make sure that they watch the video and to get them to interact with the content in it. Click submit. So you can put as many questions as you want. I'm just going to leave that one question from now. I'm going to click OK. I click submit again. I don't know why it makes me submit so many times, but I submit the mess out of this stuff. So when you do a quiz or a test in ours, you have to make it available to the students. It's not automatically available. And then I'm going to go and click, I'm going to add an announcement for this test so that they know that they have something to do in Blackboard. And then I'm going to click submit. I'm not going to do any of the time changes or any of that garbage right now. If you want, you can though. So I've got my YouTube video. I've got my YouTube quiz for them to do. Now I want to add a lab sheet for them to do. Now our school is pretty much paperless in T10. The only piece of paper they get is their lab final, and then they'll also get their Toyota course finals. We're at 583, 274, whatever we're working on. But everything else is done through Blackboard. So my lab sheets are created as assignments. So I'm going to create an assignment. And then I'm going to do a hybrid transaxle lab or something. And then I'm going to browse my computer to add my lab sheet to it. And I've got it there. I've already played with the one I want to do today. So open that lab up wherever you had it saved. I like to do 100 points per item, and then click submit. Now then, when I create an assignment, that automatically posts that into my gradebook. This quiz would be in the gradebook. The video will not because it's just an item. And then, so I actually go in and weight my gradebook so that lab sheets for us are 20%. This quiz is going to be minimal. It's like 10% of their grade, but it automatically does the work for me on my gradebook. So when a student gets ready to do this lab, they're going to click on the lab sheet, and with any luck, it'll actually open up. They're going to enable editing, and they're going to save it to their desktop. Now then they can go in and do their lab sheet, and they can answer all their little questions, type in gibberish here. On the multiple guess stuff, I have them highlight the correct answers. So that one I'm going to pick neither. So that lets me know that they answered it. I have them save it with their name or initials in the file name, and whoever's in their group, save it there. So let me show you what that looks like when they're done with it. Get rid of this guy. Okay, so they want to turn in their lab sheet. They've filled it all out. They're done with it. They saved it with their name on it. They click on the link for the Transaxle lab. They're going to go to Browse My Computer. They're going to go find their file that they just modified, and it's going to attach it to here, and then they click Submit. And I'll show you what that looks like in grade. I can't show you my grade book, but I'll show you my needs grading stuff. I don't mind that. So let's go to needs grading. So these are lab sheets that need to be graded that are already in there. Let me see if I can find one. Let's just do Long's fluid inspection. Why not? So he actually put his name on his instead of the file name, which is fine, I guess. He's got all his answers typed in here. He's got highlighted his multiple guess stuff. We can scroll through and see all his answers. You can grade all this stuff. Now then, I do mine in Word. A lot of people aren't comfortable with Word because they're scared a student's going to modify the document. Like this lab sheet here is 10 pages, so I'm pretty comfortable knowing that this lab sheet's 10 pages, and if it ends up being less pages, I know they deleted something out of it. And just for this one here, I'm going to go ahead and give Long 100 on it, just to show you what it looks like, and I can change it later. If he had a partner and he put his partner's name in here, since Long submitted it, I'll give Long the 100, then I'll go into gradebook over here and manually give his partner a grade on it the same. That way I don't have to grade twice as many documents. Some people like to have every student submit their own. Either way, whatever you want to do. So we'll click submit, and then it's going to automatically populate with the next sheet that needs to be graded. So that's that part there. Now let's go back to our day. Maybe. So we've got our lab assignment there. Let's build a discussion in here so that they can ask questions and have a conversation about what's going on. So under tools, I have discussion board. And I'm going to go with hybrid discussion. I could create a new one. Let's create a new one. Why not? Create a new forum. And we're going to call it hybrid discussion. And it's available, yes. Click submit. And then I'm going to click next. And still available, still submit. I don't know why I have to submit so many times, but that's the way ours works. So now I have a discussion board in here. Now we can go in and we can use this to have conversations about what's going on in there. So there's no threads in it right now, but I'll create one. We'll do reverse and then go component and reverse. So which component propels the vehicle in reverse, and what are the drawbacks of this? So I just created a question there to have a conversation about. So now when they go into the discussion board, they see the reverse. They go in here and they can respond to this. If they want to add their own threads in here, the student can create their own threads and we can have a conversation about the stuff they want to talk about. I do most of my communicating with my students through cell phones. We text and page back and forth all day right now, but that's just the way my guys are doing it. But this is an option in Blackboard, and most Blackboard should have that. So that's my normal day. Now then, we're going to let's put a reading assignment for tonight in there. So I'm going to create an item. I'm going to call it reading assignment. And then for the text, I'm going to put chapter 17. And then click submit. So now they've got their reading assignment for tonight, their work to do for today, and that's their day in Blackboard. You can post all kinds of stuff in here if you want. It has a lot of options. These are the ones I use the most. If you want to go ahead and add for the next day, add in your reading quiz from the night before, just go into your assessments and start a new test for that and go from there. And add your questions for your reading quiz and take care of all that. That's pretty much what we do. I hope this helps some of you guys. Feel free to respond and ask questions if you need to.